Alright, welcome to the news. Today we'll be discussing first and foremost the most essential topic, which is that Kimi 2 Thinking is an open model from Moonshot, a Chinese company designed from the ground up as an agent that thinks rather than just writing tech, planning step by step and using tools independently. In practice, it can chain between 200-300 tool calls consecutively without human intervention, allowing it to handle very complex tasks without getting lost. The architecture supports this ambition. It's a mixture of experts model with about 1 million parameters total, but 32 billion active parameters at each step. It also works with a context window of 256,000 tokens, enough to process something equivalent to an entire book in one go. It can now be used in chat mode and by activating the thinking mode with the corresponding icon, as well as through its API. Additionally, they've published the open steps so we can download and run it locally if we have the necessary hardware. The results? The numbers are impressive. In reasoning and search tests with agents, Kimi 2 outperforms models like GPT-5 and Claude 4.5 while remaining highly competitive in programming. In Human Dignity Last Exam, a tough expert level assessment, it reaches 44.9% when using tools, navigation and difficult web searches. And in the BrowseComp benchmark it scores 60.2%, well above the human baseline of 29.2%. In creative writing it also ranks high on the EQ bench, and the idea is that it repeats itself. When it can think out loud and use utilities, its accuracy scales with more tokens dedicated to thinking before answering. Let's see how it reasons. Kimi 2. Thinking alternates phases of planning, action, verification, and reflection. This is what they call interspersed thinking. After each block of steps, it reviews what's done, compares with the objective, and adjusts course. In a doctoral level math exercise, it followed a cycle of analysis, finding the key paper, reasoning, writing, executing Python code, checking for errors, and so on. And after 23 iterations of thinking, searching, and programming, it reached the solution. This same pattern transfers to code and development tasks, turning ideas into complete products by invoking tools autonomously. There are concrete examples built from a single instruction: a functional web-based word processor clone with interface, menus and rules, an interactive resource visually explaining gradient descent, a real-time simulation of a virus attacking white blood cells with adjustable parameters, even music generation through live coding in Straddle. The key is that the model not only generates content but organizes end-to-end development workflows while pursuing complex goals. It shows perseverance when solving a puzzle requiring identification of someone meeting very specific criteria. For example, training in the NFL and playing a prison guard in a particular episode. It broke down the problem, tried various tactics, changed approach when failing, and chained about 30 queries before proposing a well-reasoned solution. The process demonstrates both persistence and an important nuance. These agents, even when very powerful, may take shortcuts if they think a good enough answer meets the goal without verifying finer details. They've also refined the overall writing quality. Compared to its previous version, it now follows instructions better, handles style more fluidly, and provides greater depth. Speed is another strength, as typically when quantizing models for speed, you damage exactly what agents need: long chains of thought. Here, the team trained the system with quantization awareness to use native INT4, nearly doubling speed without sacrificing the performance mentioned. The cost approach is aggressive, but Kimi 2 Thinking is much cheaper than established closed options, roughly half the price of GPT. We offer it for $20 a month, and also, well, at a technical level too, right? Basically, in workflows with many steps, it really shines when we need it to think for extended periods and combine different actions. Overall, our conclusion is that Kimi 2 is currently an open model leading in reasoning, agent-based search, and autonomous execution of complex tasks. For us, this is the first time we've seen a system able to work for hours with hundreds of tools, maintaining focus on that continuous cycle of planning, acting, verifying, and adjusting. And that makes all the difference.